think about those moments, the tiny, unexpected shifts in our day caused by something small a stranger does.
Hmm.
Holding an elevator, maybe, or a genuine compliment, these fleeting interactions can sometimes resonate far beyond their, well, apparent
They
significance.
really can. Yeah. It's fascinating how a seemingly minor event can disrupt our emotional state in a positive way.
Mm.
Sometimes I think more profoundly than grand gestures.
Which brings us to our exploration today. We're diving into a story that popped up on the Speak English with Class YouTube channel,
Oh, yeah.
specifically within their English Leap podcast, which focuses on shadowing English-speaking practice.
Right. And just to give a quick bit of context there, shadowing, in that context, it's a method for language learners. They listen and then try to repeat almost simultaneously.
Exactly, trying to catch the rhythm, the
Yeah,
sounds.
it's all about capturing the nuances of natural spoken English. The rhythm, pronunciation, the way words kind of flow together. Real speech.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And woven into that language learning stuff was this short narrative called She Found a Note on a Pink Umbrella.
Okay.
Now, you might think, okay, a simple anecdote, pretty straightforward. But our goal today is to really sort of unpack the core of this story,
Mm,
to understand its emotional power, and, well, see what insights we can maybe glean from such an everyday kind of occurrence.
because these small personal stories, they often act like mirrors, don't they? Reflecting back our own experiences and tapping into, universal aspects of human emotion, connection.
Yeah.
Even a really brief narrative can illuminate some surprising truths, I find.
Okay, so let's get into it. Let's set the scene. The story starts, it's a rainy Monday morning for Rachel. She
Right.
lives alone, city flat. And the story paints this picture of a quiet apartment, a kind of stillness that can feel a bit heavy on a gray day like that.
And that feeling of solitude the story evokes is pretty key, I think.
Mhm.
The too quiet apartment isn't just a detail. It subtly hints at Rachel's maybe emotional state,
Yeah.
a vulnerability that the later events play against.
Yeah, sets the stage, and then almost like the day was just determined to be a bit of a struggle.
One of those days.
Rachel discovers her umbrella is broken, bent, the mechanism's jammed, that little annoyance that can just feel like the last straw on a difficult morning.
Oh, absolutely. It's that familiar thing where a minor inconvenience just seems to amplify any existing feelings of frustration or, negativity. That broken umbrella becomes a sort of focal point for the day's perceived messiness.
So out she goes, into the rain, unprepared, and she's feeling it, the dampness setting in, the chill.
Yeah.
And then something shifts.
Okay.
At the bus stop, amidst all the drabness, there's this unexpected splash of color.
Right. This is the crucial pivot in the narrative, isn't it? In the middle of a typically dreary urban scene, there's a sudden, vibrant anomaly.
Yeah.
New, bright pink umbrella. It's got white flowers on it, apparently. Just left there leaning against the wall.
And what's interesting is that it clearly doesn't belong to anyone around. The other people waiting, they don't seem to acknowledge it. It's just there, almost out of place.
That element of the unclaimed object is significant, I think.
Yeah.
It adds to this sense of chance, maybe. The feeling that this particular item has appeared at this specific moment for a specific purpose,
Mm-hmm.
even if that purpose isn't immediately clear to the others standing there.
And then comes the really impactful part. Rachel picks up the umbrella and there's a note attached.
A note, okay.
Yeah, attached to the handle. It reads, "If you're reading this, it means you need it more than I do today. Take it. Stay dry."
Wow. Just like that.
Just like that.
What's so striking about that message is its directness, I think, and its assumption of need. It's a completely anonymous act of empathy,
Right.
where the giver makes this small sacrifice based purely on an observation of a potential hardship somebody else might be facing.
And Rachel's reaction, described as her eyes widening, her first smile of the day, it just speaks volumes, doesn't it? It's such a simple gesture, the umbrella and the note, yet it manages to break through the negativity of her morning, creates this instant moment of connection.
It really highlights how our fundamental desire to feel, well, understood and cared for can be met by even the smallest considerate actions. The note isn't just about the physical object, the umbrella.
No, it's more.
It's about the recognition of a fellow human being's potential discomfort, their need.
And the umbrella we hear works perfectly.
Yeah.
So for the first time that morning, Rachel feels warm and dry, and the story uses the word seen.
Ah, seen. That resonates.
It does, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That feeling of being seen goes beyond just mere observation. It implies recognition of one's circumstances and acknowledgement of a need, even a small one like staying dry. The umbrella becomes a symbol of that.
A symbol of recognition, yeah. And this act, it doesn't just end with Rachel accepting the kindness, it sparks something in her.
Oh,
The
okay.
next day, she decides to, well, pay it forward. She leaves one of her favorite books on the same bench and attaches a note. "This book made me smile. I hope it makes you smile too. A stranger."
That's lovely.
Yeah.
This is where we see the ripple effect again then.
Exactly.
Rachel, having been on the receiving end of this unexpected kindness, feels motivated to perpetuate that feeling, to extend a similar gesture to someone else in her community.
And the story goes on, describing how Rachel starts to notice other small acts popping up.
Mm-hmm. Like what?
Like, warm gloves left with a note saying, "If your hands are cold, these are for you. Take them."
Oh, wow.
And another time, a bag of candy with a sweet message. This quiet little chain of kindness, as the story puts it, starts to unfold.
The quiet aspect there feels important. These aren't grand pronouncements or your publicized events.
No, very subtle.
They're subtle personal interactions, almost a silent dialogue of generosity unfolding within that shared space, the bus stop.
Which really brings us to the core message, I think. This story reminds us that even on those days when things feel heavy, when we feel kind of isolated in our struggles, unexpected kindness can appear. It's a powerful nudge, a reminder that people care.
And that message, it kind of counters the cynicism that can sometimes creep in, can it? Especially when dealing with the anonymity of city life.
Definitely.
It suggests that beneath the surface of our individual routines, our bubbles, there's still this capacity for connection and care. It's still there.
The narrator in the original piece, Crystal, she frames it beautifully, I thought. She calls it a little moment, a little mistake, referring to the broken umbrella,
Oh, right.
morphing into a beautiful memory. It really underscores how a small positive interaction can completely redefine our experience of a challenging time.
It's about the power of a single positive event to reframe our perspective, isn't
Yeah.
it? What started as a negative day, defined by that broken umbrella,
Yeah, the messy day.
is transformed by an unexpected act of generosity, creating a lasting positive memory instead. It flips the script on the day.
So just to sort of recap the main thread here, we've seen how one small, unexpected act of kindness had this really significant impact on one person.
Right. And then seem to inspire further acts of generosity, spreading within a small, shared community space.
Precisely. It illustrates the potential for these seemingly insignificant gestures to create a positive feedback loop, touching multiple lives in subtle yet, well, meaningful ways.
And it prompts you to think, doesn't it? Makes you reflect on those times maybe you've either received or perhaps witnessed a small act of unexpected kindness.
Yeah.
What was the immediate impact? Did it, linger with you?
And perhaps more importantly, it makes you consider your own capacity to initiate moments like that.
Right.
Even the simplest act of just noticing someone's potential need, maybe they look cold or rushed, and responding with a small kindness, it could have unforeseen positive consequences. You just don't know.
So here's a final thought maybe to chew on. Could the act of simply being more attuned to the small needs around us, noticing more?
Just paying attention. And responding with these small acts of kindness, could that actually be a far more potent force in shaping our daily lives and the connections within our communities than we often acknowledge?
That's a great question to leave things on. Is that quiet kindness more powerful than we think?